Welcome to The Productive Entrepreneur, where guests offer their tips for working smarter and accomplishing more in less time. Today's guest is Julie Fry. Julie Fry is a mom of two living in the Seattle, Washington area and couldn't be happier running the Mom Entrepreneur Support Organization, Business Among Moms. After traveling extensively around the country and the world for previous employers in the consumer products industry, she was burned out and looking for a way to spend more time with her kindergartner and preschooler. She searched extensively for the right business opportunity and then learned about Business Among Moms and purchased the company from the founder. She now has over 25 active local chapters that offer educational and networking events for women in business. Julie, tell us about yourself.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me, Veronica. I'm excited to be on this call with you. So I live in the Seattle area. I am a wife to my husband of it'll be 14 years this October 29th. And I have two kids, 9 and 11. And in my past life, I used to be a national sales manager in the consumer products industry. So after doing that for about 13 years, I took on this business, and it has been fun and a learning experience and a really wonderful opportunity to meet tons of amazing women.
That's great. I didn't know about the consumer products division.
Yeah, yep, that's what I did in my past life.
Can you tell us what your number one tip is for email or phone call distractions?
Phone call distractions. So in theory, I try to check my emails 3 times a day. And my number one tip is to not check your email first thing in the morning. Actually be intentional. I like to plan my day the night before or even the week before, so I know exactly what I'm doing at each time of the day. So I try not to check my email until I've got the most important thing done on my list. So usually I'm checking email about 10 o'clock, and then again at lunchtime, and then again before I wrap up for the day. Now, that's in theory. Do I always do that? No. But that's the plan.
What about phone call distractions?
I actually try to schedule certain days of the week when I'm doing phone calls, and I often don't have my phone in my office with me. So if I want to do focused work, I will put my cell phone somewhere else so I don't hear it. Usually that's for an hour or so, unless there's a dire emergency, which there usually isn't. That's not a big deal. But yeah, I usually just put my phone somewhere else.
That's great information. I tend to not do that, so I'm learning already. What is your favorite productivity app?
Oh, that's such a good one. There are so many. So I use Voxer, which is a voice messaging app. At first I thought it was ridiculous because people can leave you a voice message on your phone or send you a text message. Why would you need another app? Have you heard of Voxer before?
I have heard of it. I just haven't used it.
So it's like a walkie-talkie. So you just add people on it. It's an app. You press their name and then you push a button and then you talk while you're pushing the button. So you can leave a really long message and then they can listen to it whenever it makes sense for them and listen back. But you have the benefit of hearing somebody's voice, and it's really easy. You can add multiple people to a group Voxer. So I really like that one. What else? I use G Suite. So, Gmail for my company email, and then Google Calendar, and they integrate. They also integrate with my CRM. So I can add someone to my CRM right from my email, which is really nice. Yeah, those are probably my top 2, and I use Calendly for scheduling.
I've heard of that one also, but I haven't used it. I use Google Calendar.
Mm-hmm. So Calendly, let's say, you meet somebody at a networking event and you want to follow up with them, or they want to follow up with you. So rather than going back and forth on email about finding a time and day that works, you can just give them your calendar link and then send them to that.
That's good.
That's convenient for them.
Okay, that's a good one. What
And
about software?
well, almost all the software that I use is all cloud-based, like those. Really, the only piece of software that I use it to run my business. So it's called SilkStart, and that's what runs our member site, our directory, and our event calendar. So I
Okay.
love that. If you have an organization, SilkStart, there's a little plug for you.
What do you use for your calendar, your planning calendar? Do you use a paper one or electronic?
So I primarily use electronic, but I do use a journal that I just write out the top 3 things that I want to get done every day. So I kind of use that as a complement to my calendar because it helps keep me centered and focused on what I need to get done. But I use my Google Calendar for appointments, phone calls, schedule times of work blocks of things that I'm working on.
Okay, do you use a specific type of journal or just any journal?
No, like right now I have a Moleskine. I think that's what this is. Yes. But I'm very, like, I'm not set to a specific type of planner. And I usually just use blank pages rather than something that you fill in.
Okay. Any specific type of pen or
I have a business
it's
of pen.
surprisingly people have specific types of pens that they use and they will go wherever they have to go to get one.
Yeah. I know that people do that. I have a bajillion of these pens, and so this is what I use.
How do you track your income and expenses?
I used to use a tool called Wave Apps, which is basically like QuickBooks Lite. It does almost everything that QuickBooks does, but it's free. I had no idea that there was a free accounting platform. And then I transitioned to QuickBooks Online.
What one purchase in the last 6 months has changed your work life?
That's a good question. This is within the last 12 months. So I have a 12 months and I have a 6 months. So
Okay.
within the 12 months, I went to a conference last year called BizChicks Live. And it was put on by the host of the BizChicks podcast, Natalie Ekdahl. And it was just amazing. And from that, one of her speakers talked about scaling your business and hiring and firing. So it inspired me to hire a business development manager. It inspired me to get a lot tighter with my team on systems. So I felt like that was really an amazing investment in my business. And then within the last 6 months, I bought a sit-stand desk converter. So now I try to stand a portion of the day at my desk rather than
That's
sit.
awesome.
Yeah, well, I had a back issue and I've never had one before, and it was awful. And so in an effort to never have that happen again, I'm trying to really like work on my core and exercise a lot and make sure I'm standing a lot because sitting aggravates it. So
Okay, so standing alleviates that.
it
That's
does.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. In the last 5 years, what new belief, behavior, or habit has most improved your life?
So I don't consider myself to be very woo-woo, but I started doing a lot of reading around just the power of the law of attraction and visualization and affirmations. So I would say if there was only one, I would probably say affirmations and, just saying out loud and writing down the things that you know to be true about yourself and the good that you're doing and the services that you're providing. That along with visualization has been really beneficial.
That's
So maybe
great.
a little bit more woo-woo than I thought I was.
I am definitely not woo-woo. And
And just thinking about the affirmations makes me nervous.
Oh, I mean, you feel silly doing it, but there's something to it. And I have expanded my list of reading and books that I read about to be a lot more spirituality based and, kind of the stuff that you think, oh, that's crazy. That doesn't make sense. But there's
Right.
something to it.
Do you have things that you would like to add?
The one other, I'm a big reader, and so there's a couple of books that I absolutely love for entrepreneurs, and one is You're a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero, that we did for our business book club at the beginning of the year, and that's a great book, and one that I could see coming back to time and time again. Another one that's really good for productivity and developing systems in your business is called Built to Sell.
Okay, that's good. So tell us what's coming up in your business.
So right now, we have a few new chapters launching in November, and then I'm really at the early planning stages of our conference for next year. We do an annual conference for female entrepreneurs, and this will be our 5th one in May 16th and 17th in the Seattle area. Yeah. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming on and telling us your tips. We wish you the best of luck in the next year and beyond.
Thank you, Veronica. You too.
It's always a pleasure to speak with you.
You too. You too. I'm excited for these to come out.